Cat Southern Charms, back with our next video, and I'm going to show you guys how to do a galaxy. What you see here, I've already pre-mixed my resin, and I simply added in some silver glitter, some of the holographic glitter. Look at that, y'all, isn't that fun? And I use a little bit of my rainbow Marabu. It's an alcohol ink, and it has a little sparkle, we'll say. Now I want to show you one thing, because this is an alcohol ink, so remember on my chart it's going to float to the top. I also added our trick to help glitter float, and that is simply using our clear Elmer's glue. I put 5 drops in of the clear glue, and that helps keep our glitter evenly dispersed so it doesn't all sink to the bottom of our coaster, because we're building these from the top up. So I want to experiment, because I poured this and I want to let it sit. In fact, let's spray our handy dandy alcohol to release the bubbles. You see them popping. But I also want to experiment with something I haven't tried yet. So I want to try this in one coaster, and I'm going to do my other coasters like I normally do for my galaxies. This, you'll see, you have to shake it really well because you don't want this color settling on the bottom. So you hear it has a BB in it. That helps keep that color distributed, so it's not all at the bottom and you just get alcohol when you pour this out. So let's do this here. I want to add some drops, and then I'm going to take a nail dotting tool and I'm just going to swirl this. And you see the glue? See how it's gloppy? So I just want to swirl. I'm just going to swirl this around and see how it's spreading out. It kind of looks like a galaxy or a Milky Way. If y'all know the proper terms, go right ahead. A comment, and I'm wiping my tool off to get that. So look at that, y'all. Isn't that cool? And that is simply just putting a couple drops of Marabu alcohol ink in this coaster. So I'm going to let that set. In fact, I like how that is doing, so I'm going to do it in another coaster. Alright, so got some on my gloves, fine, and I just want to swirl this. See how that's spreading out? And I want to try something with one of my sticks. And this is how I really like to swirl my, there we go. That's a bigger one. So, wipe my stick off. And I want to do the same here. I just want to swirl it further out. Alright. So we're going to let that sit, y'all. I'm going to let it sit overnight and set up. And then when I come back, I'm going to show you how I take more cosmic colors, like a bright orange, a yellow, a purple, pink, and swirl them on top of this in a clear resin so it's not mixed into this. You want to do it in 2 layers. You want your base layer, which is your galaxy background, and then your next layer will be clear resin, and we're going to take a dollop of color and swirl it. So you'll see what I'm talking about when we get to that stage. But right now this is stage 1, and tomorrow I will show you stage 2 and how we can do this in layers. And we're gonna add some little planets in here, and we'll talk about that more when we come back. So, ooh no, I just saw, get that little white guy. Ah, come on. There, we got him. He's out. Alright. Alright, y'all, so I'm gonna let this set up. Do me a favor, go give this a thumbs up, do all the YouTube-y stuff so you don't forget. We're gonna let these set up, and when we come back, I'm gonna show you how you can add Milky Ways and just some lines of, maybe it's a trail, a gas trail, whatever you want to come up with. We're gonna pop these bubbles, and I will see you guys in a few, and then we get to add our colors. See you in a minute. Hey y'all, we're back. We are going to add our swirls and our color, but let me show you a little secret. I have already, and I see husky hair hanging out there. Let's get it out. All right, got it out. But I want to show y'all a pro tip. Some of y'all have done nails. Some of you still have some stuff hanging around. You can use these little nail decorations, like these little round ones, as your planets. You can put them in there as planets. And I've already put some in here, and I poured some resin over it. And you can see we're gonna add some paste. I'm using paste. I'm using Teak Spurt paste that comes in a bottle, because if you use mica powder, remember what I told y'all, and I'll put that chart here again, but remember using mica, I want to put a lot in there, and I want to lighten that up some, and I want to lighten my red up, so I'm going to put some white. I'm going to put white in all of these, because I don't want it so dark. So we're going to use yellow. Well, I say we're using yellow. Maybe we're not using yellow. We're not using yellow. We're just going to use straight white. Alright, we're going to use white. And we'll use green. Dagnabbit, y'all. Oh, shoot. These are not open. I guess I'm opening these. Let me get my little stick out. There we go. So I want to open it. Now we got to get this little piece out inside. Put it in my handy dandy trash can. Just going to put my lid back on, and I will clean that in a minute. Shake it. Put our green in here. Won't take very much. Okay. And now my red. And y'all remember this Teak Spurt is red. I love it. It is a true red. So if you're looking for a true red, Teak Spurt has a very good paste that stays true to color. So we're going to mix these up, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I've already poured some clear in these coasters, so that I can show you different methods, different ways to create a galaxy. And I want this. Look at that, y'all. Red. Red. And then we have our blue. And I toned it down with some white. Isn't that pretty, y'all? Look at that. So you can tone your colors down. I really like that color. And then we have our green that I also toned down, because I don't want it green. Isn't that pretty, y'all? Alright, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take, well, I want to do it different ways. Alright, so let's show you in here how I just put it in and swirl it. This is all I'm doing, is creating a swirl. And that's it. And I'm going to leave it like that. Isn't that pretty? The design it creates. And because it is pigment paste and not mica, it's not going to move around. So let's do red. And I just want to make like a galaxy swirl. I'm going to leave that. And then we can add a hint of blue. We'll leave it centered and just swirl out. Okay? So we're going to leave that alone. Now I want to show you guys how you can create like a Milky Way little pattern. Alright? And let's do white. And we're going to let those swirl. Like so. Maybe it all comes that way. You can do whatever you want to do. It's your galaxy. Make it however you want. You can swirl like this and drag a tail out. So it's, you know, maybe it's a shooting star. You can do whatever you want. And this has our galaxy, our planets in it. So we're just going to make a small little swirls. I don't want to take away from the planets that are in there. So I'm just going to leave that. But that gives you guys an idea. See the depth that you can get with the different techniques that you can make it opaque where you can barely see it. You can make it more prominent. You can just make a tail. Maybe you just want some streams through your galaxy, or maybe you want something more drastic. But it's really all up to what you want. These are some techniques that you can use to create your own galaxy, your own vision. And again, little cheat. Use these little balls to bring your planets into play. So we can put, and you see, these are iridescent. So I'm just dropping them in. We can put galaxies wherever, or planets wherever we want, right? Wherever you want to place them, just put them in there, like so. You can also use these rhinestones. Maybe you want a shooting star. You want something sparkly. Flip it. There you go. Maybe you have, get that hair off there. Maybe you want red. Well, there we go. Maybe you want red. Here with your tag nabbit. Y'all. Alright. So let's flip it. There we go. Maybe you want colored planets. You can have those too. Just drop in some rhinestones. And there you go. Flip. Well, if they want to cooperate, they don't want to be on the green side. Okay. So you know how you can fix that? Y'all, there are husky hairs everywhere. I swear. Okay, this wants to be difficult. So, you know what I'm trying to do. There he is. He's down there. Alright, so there you go. It is all up to you. Whatever you want to add as your planets, you can do that. But this is how you make a galaxy. And we'll come back tomorrow. We'll pour a top coat over these. I'm gonna just mist these to get rid of bubbles. Gonna let these set up overnight. We're gonna come back, fill these the rest of the way up, and that's it. We're done. But that's how you make it, guys. Tell me what you think. Were you surprised how easy this was? Do you think it was gonna be harder? What colors would you choose for your galaxy? Let me know in comments. But we're gonna let these sit overnight. We'll be back tomorrow, top them off, and take them out. Until then, grab your drink, grab your snack. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up so other people can find it too. But we'll be back in a few. See you then. Hey y'all, we're back. We're gonna finish up our galaxy pieces. You can see how things changed overnight. And I love how this flows out and does its own little feathered thing that makes it look like gases floating in the galaxy. I love how that did that. And we have our swirls, we have our planets here, and we have that little faint swirl in this one that really looks good too. And I love this. Look at that, y'all. How it's like floating in space. And I used the rest of the colors and stuff I had just as, meh, whatever. But something else that I want to talk about you can use too are these little glass, this crushed glass. See how glittery and shiny they are? So I want to add them into our piece before we do our final pour. So I'm going to pour some resin and I'm going to put these little pieces, this little glass, so it like shimmers. It's going to be really cool. So what I did is I went ahead, I mixed up my resin, and I'm going to add my rainbow Marabu. And you know I love this stuff. And I'm only adding 2 drops. Well, 3 because 1 fell out of the lid, but that's okay. And I want you to see 3 drops, and this is 8 ounces of resin. And I know my gloves have disappeared, but I want to get this done, so it's okay. I'm not worried about that. But always use your gloves. I just misplaced my box, and I want to get this video up and out to you guys, so I'm just being a rebel today. Alright, so you see that little sparkle that's in there? It's very subtle. I don't want it overtaking my galaxy pieces, but I just want to add that little zhuzh to, Well, I dropped my stick. Dagnabbit. Alright. Wipe it off. Don't want any husky hairs. Which y'all know I have 2 huskies. And they come with a lot of my pieces. But, so, we're just going to pour this in. Like so. Look at how that brings that to life, y'all. I love adding that extra layer to these because it really highlights it all and brings it to life like so. And it gives it dimension. When you do your effects on a separate layer and it's not directly on top, it adds dimension and depth to your piece. So this is a way to add a little more. We're just gonna pour the rest in here for the heck of it. All right, pour all that in, let it spread out on its own, do its little thing. All right, there we go. Isn't that pretty, y'all? Okay, so let me wipe my stick off so it's ready for the next use. And now what I want to do, that in there, first we're just going to spray with our alcohol to get rid of any little bubbles. But look at the depth, y'all. Isn't it gorgeous? I love it. So now I'm going to add some of this German glitter glass. And I'm just going to sprinkle it. I want it on these pieces, like so. And once it's in there, I can move it around like that. And I just want to add that little extra layer of depth to my piece. Like in here, I want to just add that little swirl of extra glitter to that. In here, we're just going to swirl it like so. And it's subtle. I don't want it taken over these pieces. I just want subtle little hints of glitter. That's it. So here, just subtle, maybe like a figure 8. And that's it. So when the light hits it, it's gonna pick up this glitter and this sheen and shine. And we're just gonna add it like so. And I'm gonna add it here. And that's it, y'all. I'm not doing anything else. I don't want to overload it. I don't want to take away from the beauty that we put with our second layer. I don't want to take away from that. So that's all I'm doing. These are done. They just have to finish curing, take them out, and that's it. And I'll show you the finished projects when these get done curing. But for now, y'all, that's how you make a galaxy effect. You can do it on coasters. You can do it on a canvas. And for my canvas pieces, I do my black layer like I did first. Do that as your base coat with your glitters. And remember, I use the holographic glitter and just some regular silver glitter. And with my black resin. And then I poured that layer and I let it set. So that's what you would do on your canvas. And then when you want to do your design, you can make swirls. You can make like these lines of color and let it gas up when you do your second layer. Because remember, you let your first layer cure. You come back, you pour clear resin, and then you add whatever effects that you want to add. If you just want to add some planets in there and maybe some streaking, like gas streaking through the galaxy, or you want to make like a Milky Way or some kind of design like this, which I love. Sorry, y'all. We have been getting a lot of rain here in the mountains, and it is messing with my sinuses, something horrible. So that's it. That's how you do it. And you can do it on a, like I said, a canvas piece and put it on your wall as a design. However you want to do it. The things you can do are limitless, and you see that. We've done so many different designs in this one video that tell me below, how will you make it your own? Which is your favorite? Do you like the 2? Do you like just the gas line? Do you like this design? Do you like the minimal with just some plants around? You tell me which is your favorite. Make sure you do all the YouTube things. Hit that subscribe button, y'all. That's free. It doesn't cost you anything at all. And if you are getting something from my videos and you want to help me out, because my videos aren't sponsored, I pay for everything that y'all see that I'm using. So if you want to, you know, drop some coins into that fund to help me buy resin or colorants or molds or whatever we need to do, I'll leave links in the description. Just click it, and every little bit helps, as you know. But as always, I couldn't do this without y'all. So thank you so much for your support and your love. I really appreciate it. Like I said, the best thing you can do is give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. That really does help a lot. Nothing is ever mandatory at all. But that's where we are today, y'all. We have some really fun stuff coming up. You don't want to miss it. So until next time, happy arting. Ta-ta for now. We're back, y'all. These are done. I told you I would give you a quick look. You can see the back, how glittery, how galaxy that is. And that is from using this silver, just a regular silver glitter, and our holographic glitters. We mixed that with black, and I used our glue trick to keep it evenly dispersed. So there you have, that's our background. And here is ours with our planet. I've got to trim up the sides, and I'll put a little top coat on this to even it out. But there is our minimal one with our planets, and you see the holographic. So that's fun. So that's that one. Let's bring our, again, you see the back, and you see we added, remember we added those color rhinestones in there. So there is our 2 different ways with 2 different colors. Show you guys how to do that. And remember, I used the paste, the pigment paste, because remember what I told you, mica always migrates to the center. So if I had used pigment pigment powders in this, all of this would have migrated to the center and left striations. It would not look right. So let's get our, and remember we used our rainbow, just a couple drops, and put that in the center. But look at that, and look at it from the side. See how it gives it that depth, like it's further down. It really adds to that. Y'all, I love these. These turned out really good. Again, our back. And look at that sparkle with the rainbow in the middle. In that. Isn't it beautiful, y'all? And you can see from the side how you have it's layered. So you have that depth. Anyway, there you go. Y'all asked. There are 4 different methods and 4 different ways that you can create your own galaxy coasters, designs. Remember, you can do it on a canvas. You can put multiple canvases together and connect them through a gas line like this. You know, draw your resin over multiple canvases. And I'll do that next. I'll show you how to connect and design multiple canvases that can go together on a wall side by side and create that design. That'll be our next big project. So be on the lookout for that. But until then, make sure you go give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it or found some helpful tips from this one. And click the subscribe button if you haven't already. Ding that bell and you won't miss any upcoming videos that have some more pro tips and tricks that will help you on your resin journey. But until then, y'all, happy arting. Ta-ta for now. Comment which one's your favorite. Hurry, run, tell me.